Hello, I'm Sylvan Bell coming to you live from Oahu. It is April 19th, 2015. I'm at Sharks Cove. Perfect day to do sales training at 8:43 in the morning. Now, one of the things that's going to happen is you're going through and you're dealing with a salesperson. At some point, they're going to tell you, hey, look, let's just get to the point, right? And so here's where, as a salesperson, you have to figure out what you're going to do. Because understand that this is meant to be an intimidation factor. And here's what's going to happen for the most part. If you're not dealing with this the right way, that person's going to come back and they're going to give you some sort of silly objection, and then they're going to start throwing lines from you from the industry like be-backs will never be back and things like that. They're using your own ability to be against you. So you need to understand part of this is their game for them to not make a decision or them to create problems in your sales process, and you have to follow through with something. So if I'm sitting with you and you say, hey Scott, let's just get to the number, I'm going to say, hey look, you know what, I have a couple of concerns. There's some things that we have to go over in order for you to understand what you're going to get, and if I leave those out, that's my fault. It's my job to communicate with you, and I have to go over these things. And if the person usually says, well, let's just get to the point, let's get to the money, my next question is going to be, well, is it all about the money? You don't care about any of this other stuff? And usually the answer is yes. And if it's all about the money, I can tell you right now, you're probably the wrong person for me. This is probably the time for us to just part ways as friends, okay? So understand that I have no problem with walking away from a sale. And I'm not saying this to, hey, look, here's how cool I am. I'm saying, hey, look, take this from my playbook and figure out how to make it work for you. Now, understand that sales is based upon personalities and based upon how you do things. So you're gonna have to take what I did and rewatch it and modify it to make it work for you, because more than likely, if you try to roll that out in the same exact way that I did it, it's not gonna match up with what you did, okay? So one of the mistakes that sales trainers and salespeople make when they talk back and forth is they either overtell the story or undertell the story. You're missing huge segments of my conversation that I went through with the person that I'm dealing with in order for you to understand fully how that would roll out. So there's a lot of stuff that happens up here in the front, and then when we get to the end, they're like, hey, let's just get to the numbers. You gotta understand that there's more to it. So I don't wanna lead you astray and have you say something that I would say out in the field and then have it not work for you and be like, darn you, you rascally rabbit, that doesn't work for me, Scott. You're gonna have to figure out how to take that and melt it into your own presentation and ask the same types of questions. Hey, you know what? If I leave this information out, are you gonna be okay with not understanding with what you get? And then people usually are gonna say no, say, well, that's why I gotta go over everything. And then this is where I usually flip it back on them and go, hey, you know what it's like to be in sales and to present to somebody and have them go, just get to the point, and then there's a bunch of stuff that they missed out on. Doesn't that suck? And then the person usually says yes. I go, well, that's where we're at. And then they usually go, okay, let's just go ahead and keep going. But once again, if they push back and they're like, let's just get to the numbers, hey, look, I'm gonna ask some very pointed questions because they're telling me to get to the point. I'm gonna say, am I just here to confirm a buying decision that you've already made? Is what you're looking for just a low price? Because between those two things, it's going to tell me a lot. And if they answer yes to either one of them, I can tell you right now they're not the right person for me, okay? Now, dealing with salespeople, being a salesperson can create some challenges for you. You just have to tread lightly and know that if they're going to tell you to get to the point, usually they're not understanding why they need to be there. Your presentation could be not that good, or they're just shopping on money or confirming a buying decision they've already made. Now, if you could do a small favor for me in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story, that'd be fantastic. To the right or to the left, there is a subscribe button. Subscribe and then send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Scott Sylvan Bell. Only Scott Bell with Seminole. See you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.